CLONIOUS, which is a reference to one of the jazz greats out there. He actually died, he's not really out there anymore. Thelonious Monk, and I just like the name a lot. It's a very beautiful sounding name, and I just squeezed the C basically in his name because back in the days I used to sample a lot of jazz records. So yeah, and sampling is kind of a cloning process. So alright, that's a pretty decent name, the CLONIOUS. And yeah, it was from the beginning. Back in the days, like I didn't notice it, but I always had this thing for jazz music. So I started with hip hop basically, and soon enough, like I discovered like the greats from the 90s, like who were basically into sampling jazz stuff, like Tribe Called Quest. Like I remember my sister actually gave me the first Tribe album, the People's Instinctive Travels and the Rhythmic Path, as a Christmas present. And I didn't know hip hop at all, but she kind of was into it, and she just gave me the CD, and I heard it till I was fed up with it, and that was probably after listening to it like 1,000 times. So that is like my root basically, like the jazz and the hip hop where it kind of collided, and yeah, that was the first thing that got me into music and going into record shops and buying records, buying like 1210s and starting just to scratch around and shit. So that was basically my first musical passion. DJing is just the public aspect of your love to music. So there's always a fine line between like playing the music that you really enjoy, that you really love, and also like pleasing the audience. So if you're a DJ, you always have the burden on your shoulders to make your audience comfortable and let them vibe into it. So, but I tend to, like when I was younger, I was even more radical with that. I was like, I remember like first DJ gigs I got booked to, just went wild. I played like some hardcore 70s independent jazz, and then I played a Square Pusher tune, and then I played like a Japanese flute tune, and actually people couldn't stand it, you know. So I come from that background that I tend to, as a DJ, tend to challenge the audience. That's a big part of it, I think. Like, I just like to play stuff that you wouldn't usually hear in a DJ set, and I always admire like the DJs that have like this bright spectrum of stuff they really wanna they present. Like for example, one of my all-time heroes is Aardvark. I don't know if you have heard of him. It's like a Dutch guy, and he's like insane. He just DJs with Winner on his computer, and he does like this crazy edits and basically just cuts the tunes to at the one and just snaps them in without like adjusting the tempo or anything, and he's just jumping around. I don't know, he would play a Beatles track, and right on top of it he would play like a mean 30s South gangster hip hop track, and he does it so well, and he understands and can the audience so well, and reads the audience so well that he always like is good for a surprise that really works out, and people fall for that. And I tend to do that too, like just play around and be a bit unconventional when it comes to DJing. Yeah. That's a tricky question because like the live show format of producers, that's the thing that got kind of big over the last couple of years, and it's basically just a one-man show. And I always enjoy when something live is happening, but I don't mind like just people playing their own shit DJ-wise, because it's also a lot of work, and to come up with your own productions and present them, it's good enough for me. You know? I don't disrespect people who don't really like play an instrument or wanna go wild live. So it's just about the music, you know? And usually if you have like the producer guy who plays his own record, he always sneaks in some exclusive stuff you haven't heard before. So that's enough for me to check it out. So no hate in the game. I'm almost illiterate, so I only have like musical heroes. I mean, there are a couple of novelists that I enjoy, but basically like probably like one of my greatest heroes in all times is probably John Coltrane. I don't know, there's something magical about his history and the way he came up and how he pushed boundaries and kind of had his own way in the music scene, and as well how he picked his musical fellowship fellows, and yeah, I'm a big John Coltrane fan. But there are a couple of old school jazz artists, and from the electronic musical side, it was definitely like the biggest influence I had was cinematic orchestra. On one hand, they represent for me like the most beautiful sample aesthetic that I've heard, and also like Square Pusher got me like into all this crazy effect shit and crazy editing and this musical overload. Basically, it's similar. Yeah, it's all about the jazz, you know. Also with Square Pusher is like the Feed Me Weird Things album. When I first heard it, I was like, okay, wow, it's like an insane jazz approach, and it's like all over the place. And yeah, I like musical overloads, basically. And yeah, those are the most influential people for me. Okay. It's always hard to focus on to say that about yourself, to make those judgments about yourself. And I wouldn't say I build up a legacy. I don't know. I think there are only really a few people who have already did a legacy, and an ongoing legacy. So I don't know. It's just like find a unique jazz approach. That's kind of a red line in my body of work, just to do something that I kind of haven't heard before. Yeah, that's my approach, kind of. But I mean, it changes up. Like Like back in the days, I was like really annoyed with pop stuff and couldn't listen to a 4/3 floor bass drum. I hated it, and I was like, that's so, what is the word? Trivial and blah blah and mainstream, but that all got changed up too. Like nowadays, I also enjoy just to pick one scale and find some nice classic chord progressions, but kind of to find your own way in that too. And so I'm still experimenting around a lot and try a lot of different styles and different methods. So I couldn't say that I'm well known for one thing. And I didn't invent one thing like a couple of people did. So I wouldn't say I built up a legacy. What makes me smile? A good joke. Waking up beside a beautiful girl. Good food. Pets. I like pets. What else? Getting drunk, of course. That's a big issue for my happiness. And awkward situations tend to make me smile too. For example, that commercial makes me smile. You wanna get that in? That's like a weird advertising approach. I wouldn't, if I have a Burgerland, I wouldn't pick like a woman that looks like a insane, sick hooker to present to represent my burgers. But yeah, I shouldn't have dissed the lady. I'm sorry. Yeah. Jerk off. What else do we do? Get drunk. Basic things. What else? I watch like American television series. I'm a big fan of everything. You name it, name one series, and I'm sure I watched all the seasons. Name one.
Family Guy.
Family Guy, I watched all of it. Watched the movies, everything. Actually, waiting for the next season.
It used to be LaToya and Jim. We gon' help y'all see clear. It used to be LaToya and Jim.
Biggest passion. Probably playing soccer. Yeah, I'm a big soccer fan. I think we gotta get out of it. But let's do it quick. Yes, playing soccer or sports basically. I like skateboarding. I like snowboarding. Getting drunk. That's a big passion too. I'm pretty good at that. Cheers. That's a huge concept. I think love is always connected to passion. So I think there are a lot of aspects to love, but it comes down, I guess, to filling your life up with meaning and then get enthusiastic about it and stick to it and go into detail. So falling in love with something or somebody is always falling in love with details. The devil is in the detail. Do the Harlem Shake. Got the dance moves in there too. Just targeting my audience, you know. I love dancing. Shit. Do all that. I'm gonna do probably like a freeze and stuff. Hopping and shit. Yeah. Just give me a shot when you're in Vienna. See me around.